Fellas, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the pregame lounge. Let's go. Love the energy tonight. We are presented by Bet365, never ordinary. And we are getting you set for the Nuggets-Rockets matchup tonight. Should be an interesting game. Nuggets playing the Rockets for what feels like the 10th straight time.
Oh, and there's going to be another.
But just wait, there's another as well. But we'll get you set for tonight's matchup. We're also doing a watch-along tonight, giving you guys live play-by-play of tonight's game.
Hang with us all night.
Immediately after this pregame show, right when the game starts at 7, so tune into that as well. I'm Harrison Wynn. That's Brendan Vogt.
What's up, fellas? Scooted to work for the first time since I hit a pothole and went flying off my scooter. And you know what? Made it here safely. I think I've cleared the psychological hurdle, Eric. I'm a scooter guy again.
I didn't know about you falling off your scooter.
Oh, I had a great summer. But I crashed my scooter. But I'm ready to ride it again just in time for the winter. So
yeah. I know. You got the Subarus on. Uh-huh. I don't know if those are recommended scooter riding shoes, but
they're not, actually.
Also joined by Eric Wedum. You know him as D-Line.
Did you ride those on? Did you wear those on the scooter?
That was my next question.
I did, yeah.
You did?
Uh-huh.
You need your scootering license revoked for that.
If we were, I had a large dental procedure today.
Oh yeah, how are you doing? Some crowns for a king?
I told somebody earlier that I have temporary crowns. I'm more a Burger King than an actual king at this point.
I'm wondering who is more of a game time decision tonight, Eric Wedum or Jamal Murray?
Eric Wedum.
Eric, for sure.
For sure.
Is Jamal Murray playing tonight? I heard some rumblings that he was a game time decision.
Well, don't hold your horses, Harrison. He's actually third on my injury report.
Okay, sorry, I jumped the gun.
Yeah. Aaron Gordon is still out, fellas. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But Nikola Jokic is in.
Okay.
And Jamal Murray is back.
Jamal Murray is back.
Technically a game time decision per Malone, but Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN is just gonna take care of it for us. Jamal Murray will make his return, according to sources and ESPN. He's back, fellas. He's back. On the Houston side of things, while Jamal is back, Fred VanVleet is out. He and Jayshawn Tate will miss this game. Tari Eason, who was questionable, he's in. Saw him doing a windmill before the game, so I think I'm going to say he looks good to go. And I do know this about the Houston starters already. Aaron Holiday is set to start at point guard in VanVleet's place. I know this already. I looked on Twitter. It's public information. And then one more game note. The second most important game note behind the Jamal Murray news. Jeff Green will get his ring tonight, fellas. Jeff Green will get his ring. I've got some Malone quotes as well, but sure. I didn't know if we wanted to let the Green thing breathe just for a second. Uncle, it's a night of celebration for the ultimate vet last year.
Yeah, he's going to get a massive standing ovation, right?
Massive, dude.
Deservingly so.
Of course. Absolutely. You pumped for Uncle Jeff?
Am I pumped for an older man to get some jewelry? I was probably when he won the title.
Yeah, okay. So that part is kind of expired.
It's kind of the funny thing about the ring talk is that it's like at the end of the day, it's like I don't own a single piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
Do you own a watch?
No.
Really?
You don't own a single watch?
No, I don't really like to accessorize with shiny metal.
Gotcha.
These aren't rings that they'll wear. Like, I'm happy because he won the title. You know, it'll be cool for him to get back, but I don't care. Yeah. I don't care about that.
Jeff Green and his relationship with the fan base and this show is so funny because he was not great last year, but was an important piece of the championship team.
No doubt about it.
And now that the championship is over and he's moved on, he's going to be thought of way more highly than he was when he was here.
Well, he could do himself a favor in that regard and not play so hard and well against the Nuggets.
I know this version
time.
of Jeff Green actually could have helped the Nuggets out a lot more last year.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna turn into haters if you don't stop draining corner threes and
exposing the Nuggets game plan.
Yeah, dude.
Stop it. It'd be like,
stop it.
It'll be like the uncle that you don't like at Thanksgiving. You're like, man, Uncle Jeff is here. He's probably going to bring up politics during Thanksgiving.
yeah.
He's going to ruin the night.
And he's a Cowboys fan.
But he's the first player from last year's championship team to get their ring
Posthumously.
who's not with the team anymore, right?
That would be not actually an apt word.
Posthumously.
Yo, nice. That's correct. Yeah,
Of course,
that's
Bones
right.
Highland did not get one.
Bones did
on
not
that
get one,
game.
and Brucey B has yet to visit one of his favorite cities in Denver.
Yes.
So Jeff will be back. In the meantime, the Nuggets, you may have noticed, going a little younger this year in more than one direction with the second unit. And Michael Malone spoke to our Adam Matas. I don't know if Adam wanted me to point. It's his question. No wonder that's
make sure you point
Yeah.
that out.
Yeah, bring that up.
No wonder that's the clip he posted. Actually, it was a great question. It was about the young guys. And Malone basically acknowledged the two timeline thing. He said, yeah, it's tough. You want to develop young players, but you also want to win games. And you don't see many teams doing that, especially with the number of young guys we're trying to develop. And my natural default is when things aren't going right, I go back to our veterans. He said one thing he loved is that after that game in Houston, when I kind of called those guys out, they responded. Peyton, Strother. Each game is an opportunity for them to settle in and gain more confidence, and then for the other guys to gain more confidence in them. Lastly, he said, I don't ever get on those guys for making or missing shots. I just want them to play with discipline. I want them to play with effort.
Yeah, I love that. And he's right, man. He did call them out pretty directly.
Sure did.
After that loss to the Rockets, he said post-game that he just straight up told them he's going to start playing different people. And then, combination, I think, of injuries and Malone kind of walking back that stance a little bit led to a rebound game from the young guys off the bench. So
Right.
I love the approach Michael Malone's taken with the second unit for pretty much this entire season so far. And no reason to think it won't continue. I like the blend of veterans and young talent playing.
It's really funny, the old adage, which is just so true as you go on. Like, winning solves everything. Like 2 days ago, we were like, this bench is unusable, and these players they don't know what they're doing. They have no...
Pack their bags.
Yeah, it was like terrible. And then they win this last game, and you're like, "Oh, we are the deepest team in the league." We can get 6 timelines going if we want. The Nuggets can do no wrong. It's beautiful though. Like it's nice to see people succeed, and then it just reminds you that success is possible. And like now here we are. Like, and I'm excited to see what the bench looks like tonight.
Yeah,
And I think confidence is maybe the easiest thing to overlook for young guys. Not everyone is a slam dunk prospect, of course. So some of these guys like Peyton and Julian, I think confidence really goes such a long way in determining how successful they are in their first steps. And like it can have a real positive kind of snowball effect, or a cascading effect. And to go from those 2 games to now coming back home and you get Jamal back, it's a really good opportunity to keep that particular kind of part flowing and really get some momentum going for everyone, not just the best players.
Yeah. Well, let's get to Jamal. He's obviously the top story tonight. He's back after a 11-game absence. I'll call it 12 games if you count the game against the Bulls that he only played 10 minutes in. But the Nuggets went 6-5 without Jamal. They treaded water fine. I feel like we learned a decent amount about this team and some of the young guys and maybe who's ready and who's not. But, I mean, Vogt, what are your expectations for Jamal and for the Nuggets about how they'll look now that he's back in the lineup?
There's no doubt about what the medium to long-term expectations should be. They should return to form. I would say maybe I'm prepared for there to be some rust to work off.
Oh, yeah.
Really more conditioning than anything. It's a hamstring injury. So the idea is not to re-aggravate that too early. you're not doing anything. Definitely not playing NBA games. So getting back to NBA shape and doing it in Denver, like I would expect to see him looking not at his best. But there's no doubt that ultimately this will have a good effect on the rotation, which, fragile as it may be, I think we were all fans of 11 games ago. Yeah. So you got to expect him. One thing I will say, Eric, obviously Jamal being out was the biggest, in terms of the process, it was the biggest issue. But this team does still have to prove that they can win games on the road. That's not all about Jamal. I think they'll be dominant at home like they could and should be tonight. But, they still have some kinks to work out even with Jamal back as well.
Yeah, like in years past when Jamal has come back from extended absence, it's always taken a long time for him to get back into form. The difference, I think, now is that Jamal has transformed into much more of a facilitator than he was maybe back then.
I agree.
And so I kind of hope that his approach is to be the guy that gets Jokic the pass where he needs to, gets other guys involved, isn't so wholly reliant on his scoring and his shooting, which is always what goes first when your legs are in question.
Yeah.
And like you allude to, the other thing it does is that it gets the rotation, the holy rotation is back intact to where you can say, we're not asking who should be in the rotation. We're saying okay, cool. Now Reggie, Peyton, whatever it looks like, it's okay, now you guys work on your chemistry and you guys actually figure out how it is that you need to play together. Because last night showed us that they can have a very, very different personality than the starting unit, which obviously flows through Jokic. And at times they seem like they try to recreate in the second unit with personnel where it doesn't make sense. Nobody knows what they're supposed to do exactly.
Yeah.
So hopefully tonight it's it just gives clarity more than it gives explosiveness from the scoring aspect from Jamal.
For sure. And also, we know Jamal Murray's probably going to be on a minute restriction for a while. I would say at least for a week or so. Hamstrings are such a tough injury to deal with and come back from because they're one of the more easily re-aggravated injuries. And you've just got to be so careful with it. So I definitely think he'll be under some type of restriction for the immediate future. I doubt he plays a lot with the bench. I think that will allow Reggie to really take ownership of that group and continue on this upward trajectory that he's been on for the last, couple of weeks. And to your point, D-Line, Jamal Murray leveling up as a passer, as a table setter, him seeing the floor better than he ever has, I think that allows him to come back and not have to just score to make an impact. He doesn't have to just go for 20, 30 points for you to feel Jamal Murray. He can change the game with his passing. He can impact the game, in the two-man game, not always scoring the ball. He can impact the game facilitating. So that's what I'll be watching for tonight. Does he impact the game in other ways other than just with his shot?
Yep.
He will start tonight. Contavious Caldwell-Pope, of course.
Hey, Jamal's back, baby. Fire up the bacometer. He's back, baby.
If you paid attention the last couple games.
Do we still have that?
Yeah, dude, where's the bacometer?
Is he back? Jamal Murray is back.
Oh, in other news, Kale's fucking fired.
If you've been paying attention the last couple games, then you should see this one coming. They'll go with Justin Holiday at the 3. No Aaron Gordon tonight. Slide Michael Porter Jr. to the 4. And then some overseas player, Nikolai Jokic.
Huh.
Oh, he's back in the lineup?
That nice. Guy. Then for the Rockets, Aaron Holiday, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith Jr., and Shingu.
Bro, the Nuggets have played the Rockets 3 times in the last 3 weeks. And we're playing them again a week from now.
Dude, it's been a different lineup on both sides every time.
I'm about sick of playing the Rockets.
Dude, I know. Down with the Rockets, man.
Anything else you guys have your eyes on tonight?
I mean, I'm curious. I want to see how Justin Holiday is used. Mm-hmm. I want to see how DeAndre Jordan is used. I want to see what the real reverberations of the bailout actually are. Like, what lasting things we can see come from that outside of it just being a vibey, unexpected game that just made our nights better on a Monday night.
Yeah.
Because Aaron Gordon's still out. So there is, I suppose, the holy rotation is not actually intact at this point. So we'll see who steps in what way, what capacities.
Do you think Zeke or DeAndre play backup center tonight?
It's kind of crazy to put DeAndre right back on the bench, isn't it? Especially at home. But I do think Malone is aware of the fact that they seemingly need Zeke, and do you squash his confidence? Like, how political are you getting here? So that's the interesting.
You've got to be political, man. You can't lose Zeke Najee at this point in the season.
So that
you're still in the first quarter of the year. You just paid him $8 million a year for the next 4 seasons after this one.
So
you
I think
can't
that's why
lose
he
him
plays.
at this point.
I think that's why he plays.
Yeah, I would play Zeke tonight. I loved what DeAndre showed the other night in LA. The Rockets, they're pretty small off the bench. Like, they don't play a backup center unless they dust off Boban tonight, which they haven't done this season once. But tonight would be a hilarious night to do it.
What a throwback to get just clowned by Boban. It's been a while since we've had one of those, man.
Yeah. If that happens, if they go Boban, DeAndre Jordan should play.
Oh, yeah.
I actually think
has to.
Yeah.
Not should, has to.
Yeah, if the Rockets go with their regular rotation, I think you throw Zeke out there and see if he can give you a good night. But yeah, that should be a real interesting tell about how Malone's thinking about his backup center minutes.
Yeah, no.
Oh my God!
But what do we know? What have we learned?
Hang on, is
he back?
I heard he was a game time decision. So
how funny is the game time decision these days, man?
He's unbelievable.
Jamal is back. The bacometer. Kale is rehired.
I have my job back?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you see the picture the Nuggets posted of Jamal Murray walking into the arena
In that purple
like velour sweatsuit? Game time decision, my ass.
It was a game. Yeah,
Game time
walked in,
decision. The
everyone
teams
knew.
are out there, like national anthem's done, starting lineups are done.
Yeah.
About to go out for the opening tip off. Jamal, are you playing?
Last game,
That's
last
true
game,
game
Jamal
time
was
decision.
in jeans and a t-shirt. You're like, all right, we'll see you on the other side of the road
Yeah.
trip.
Guys, we have an in-season tournament bracket.
Let's go.
We have a
I don't
bracket.
care.
All right, no
It's
Nuggets.
Anyone who cares about this is stupid and doesn't get basketball.
Well, you have to care for the next 5 minutes because we are going to pick
I
the
cared
bracket.
a lot until the Nuggets were out. Now I think it sucks.
Can we get a look at the bracket,
Like
Kale? Because
LeBron
let's
was
go game by
playing.
game
Whose
and pick
idea
it.
was this?
Oh my God! Look at this disgusting bracket.
First round, December 4th and 5th. Of course, the Lakers got the 1 seed. I don't want to step into conspiracy corner this early in the night, but I went there a couple days ago.
On the bright side, one of those two most and much hated teams has to lose.
Who do we think comes out of the West?
I like the Kings. I think this is the exact kind of tournament where the Kings can
I like the
thrive
Kings
and win
too.
it all, even though probably not in the playoffs.
Oh, give me the Suns, and I'll never stop vomiting.
The Suns, man.
I'll never stop vomiting.
They've got
but
some decent vibes right now, even though Bradley Beal is dead.
Yeah, man. Somehow the Suns brought back the same team, but like a worse version of it, and are kind of doing better. Although actually that's not true because going into the playoffs, like Kevin Durant and Devin Booker hadn't lost.
Yeah.
And they were like on a pace that was like it couldn't be stopped until they played the Nuggets.
I think out of all the teams in the West, I'm rooting for the Kings.
Rooting for is a different situation. Yeah, I can, man. It's actually pretty intriguing between those 4 teams. Like I'm actually like it is
Backing on
not
the tournament. It's pretty cool.
I'm back in. Like
all it
the
took.
disgusting part is that it's not the Nuggets in the
Right.
first. It's the goddamn
Now the
Lakers.
tournament is sick.
Yeah.
I also the Kings I think are the most fun team to watch in the West
Yeah.
right now. Like, I mean,
Dude, the Lakers are the 1 seed
So-
too. How gross.
I really want to see them make a deep run in the East.
Who do we like in the East? We've got Boston, Milwaukee,
I actually do like the Celtics.
top 2 seeds.
I do like the Celtics.
Or I guess the Celtics are the 3rd seed, and then the Pacers at the 2, and the Knicks at the 4.
I've always said the in-season tournament is better when the Knicks are in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's just basketball.
It's just basketball.
Institutional basketball.
I'm
I'd
rooting
give
for
you
the
the
Pacers
Celtics.
out of these 4 teams.
Rooting for, and who would you put your money on?
Well, round 1 is the Pacers Celtics in an in-season tournament is going to be a sick game.
Yeah, that's going to be fascinating
be a
because the
sick
Pacers just score a bunch, and the Celtics can only win if they make their threes.
Oh, that's true. They can play much better defense though. I do
Yeah.
think the Celtics can, like, their problems are playoff problems. Also, I guess we'll see how much of a playoff atmosphere this tournament has.
Here's what's going to happen. Here's how this plays out. It's going to be Celtics versus Suns, and the Celtics win the whole thing.
Yeah.
I do think the Celtics win the East.
What do we think the league is rooting for? Celtics, Lakers?
I think they're
course,
versus, yeah, I think they want Lakers.
They probably already have the
I think they
highlight
want
package ready to go.
I'm pretty sure they want Lakers Knicks.
Well, hang on.
Over
though.
Lakers, Celtics?
They just want New York versus LA.
that
That's it.
Halliburton Sabonis trade. You know what I mean? There's a narrative. Kings Pacers. Anyone?
Yeah, should be interesting. The 2 games got added to the Nuggets schedule because they did not make the knockout round. One is the Rockets, which we talked about. That is on December 8th. There was another game added to the Nuggets schedule, though.
So, for dullards like myself that have not studied this, what are these extra games? Are these games that they would have played the Rockets down the line, but they just are essentially moving a game that would have happened at a different time?
No, there was a gap in the schedule during when those games are being played, and these 2 games count towards your regular season record. So these 2 games are pretty much your 81st and 82nd games of the season.
So, but had the games not been scheduled, essentially, like the Nuggets had only been scheduled
Time
to
was
play
allotted
80
for them, but these particular games hadn't been scheduled
because
the
there was
matchups had yet to be determined.
there was a chance that the Nuggets would play one of these 2 teams in the tournament, and that would have counted towards. Man,
Yes, that's
like as simple as this kind of seems, it's like very not simple.
well. It's just that those games that those teams are playing fit into the schedule,
Right.
So they now have to fill in the gap that the teams that didn't make it have.
Yeah.
And a lot of that scheduling is done based on like who did what in their group and all that. I think so.
Yeah. The other team the Nuggets are playing, though, their 82nd game of the season is against the Los Angeles Clippers.
Let's go!
They play the Clippers
End the
again.
season with a win.
What do you, dude? What?
It's not at the end of the season, but it's
Dude,
another win you
You
can
just said
tack
like
on
copy
there.
paste twice.
I know. I think this might have been a situation where the league forgot about the Nuggets again.
Yeah,
Have the
we
Nuggets
love those.
played anybody but the Pelicans,
No.
Clippers, and Rockets?
No, Kale. That's all we've played. And we're about to play the Rockets again tonight.
Listen, no one should be complaining about another Clippers game. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome news.
All right, guys, let's fire up the Bet365 app.
Just so
Let's
everyone knows,
win some money tonight.
I've consulted Dev. I have Dev's official lock. So, regardless of the nonsense that we give out, there is a lock in place that he feels good about. So I'm going to bet it.
And guys, we're doing a watch along tonight. We'll have a official DNVR play along bet that we'll be tracking during the watch
That'll
along.
be Dev's lock.
That's Dev's lock. We'll be tracking other bets as well. So download the Bet365 app. Use code DNVR365. Bet along with us, like $1. It just makes the experience a little more fun. And then during the watch along, we'll be tracking those bets the whole time. So it's more fun if you're locked in with us on that. But what does Dev like tonight, D-Line?
The official Superstar Dev lock of the night / the play along is Nikola Jokic triple-double. He thinks it's a lock and he's going to happen
I
quickly.
could have given you that one.
Well, listen, man. It's not. We're not trying to invent a new science here. We're trying to win some
No,
money.
I mean, it's a smart bet. What are the odds on it?
If you could invent a new science, though, what would it be? Well,
It would be something. It would be something based on smell and taste and color.
All right, cool.
I don't know what it is though.
That's the tricky part.
And magic.
Okay, give us some bets.
I mean, what do you guys like in this? The thing is that the Nuggets have now matched up against the Rockets multiple times, so we've kind of gotten a taste. I am kind of liking the Jamal Murray assist over tonight. I think that for the reasons we stated earlier, he's going to come back in and I don't know that he'll necessarily feel like scoring is the thing he needs to do. And frankly, I don't think he should, just based on what it looks like to get back into an NBA uniform and start to get back to your way of playing. So I'm going to take Jamal Murray over on assists.
You can get him over 6.5 for plus 115.
I feel good about that. The only question
Playing time.
Playing time is the only thing you have to worry about on a bet like that.
I might throw a sprinkle on that.
That to me feels like it's sprinkleable.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I don't know. What else do you guys like in this game?
What about on the other side of things?
Ugh. I hate living on the other side of things.
I just feel like Şengün's had.
I was going to say
two
Şengün
really
is,
good games against the Nuggets already.
He really likes
I
playing
would
against
go
Nikola
with
Jokic.
his points, rebounds, assists in this. I'm
He
going to see
really,
what that is at
really
real
likes
quick
playing
here.
against Nikola Jokic. Yes.
Let's see. Player points, rebounds, and assists.
I don't know.
37 and a half.
37 and a half. Let's break that down. So, how many points?
25, 10, and 3. He can get that.
25, 10, and 3. That feels like very ghetto. Yeah, okay.
Şengün 37 and a half. And
I mean, I'm not going to bet on it because it feels incredibly icky for me to bet on other players to do well. But like, if we're handing out advice to bet, like that's where I would put my emphasis.
I'm going to put $1 on that. What are we thinking for Michael Porter tonight, Vogt? Are you feeling it?
A little bit, just because they're home.
They are home,
and I think
dude. Michael Porter threes tonight for sure.
I do, yeah, and he just had a poor performance. What's the line? You guys have it open. I was just tweeting out the watch along.
Michael Porter threes made. They're only giving us over 2.5 minus 155. Let me see if you can bet it up at all.
Yeah. Buy it up, or maybe it's part of a parlay. The other thing I kind of liked was the Houston under, because again, you're back in Denver. Jamal's back, which helps the rotation, and no Fred VanVleet, and he was a catalyst, a linchpin in the beatdown. Both losses actually. So I just wonder if maybe there's an under on Houston play as well.
So you can go 3 plus 3s minus 155, 4 plus 3s plus 165. I mean, I can't bet on him to get 4 tonight. I'll put it down for 3 plus 3s.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, that feels good. But again, the one
lock of
bet,
the night,
the lock
play
of the
along
night
is Nikola Jokic
triple double. That's the one. So we're feeling good about that.
What's the actual line tonight?
The actual line tonight, the Denver Nuggets are favored
minus 8.5.
Yep.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray's first game back.
No
Jokic
Fred.
They're at home.
coming off a game.
No VanVleet. I mean, that stuff matters.
I would take it. It's just that the Rockets have played the Nuggets tough.
Are you just like, what if Jamal looks rusty?
Yeah.
And it's understandably about getting Jamal back in the flow. I don't think I think they win this game, to be honest, but
I do too.
8 is scary.
Let's get a first quarter bet in.
There's a super boost. Clippers. Oh, excuse me.
Excuse me?
It is the money line for the Denver Nuggets, so they simply have to win. Nikola Jokic 25 plus points and Nikola Jokic 15 plus rebounds, plus 450. There is another super boost for Nikola Jokic to get 25 plus points and 10 plus rebounds. That feels like all but a certainty, especially with Dev's lock. That'll net you plus 110.
I am gonna go Michael Porter plus 3.5 first quarter points. Minus 130, not a lot of juice, but I will take him to get 3.5 first quarter points.
I love it. What do you say we give ourselves a couple minutes before the watch along?
Yeah, I got all those down. We're gonna be tracking those during the watch along. Guys, head on over to that stream. It's starting up in just a couple of minutes. The DNVR watch along. We'll see you there. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you guys in a couple of minutes.
Let's go.
We all silly like the mayor.